But we've seen this movie before. Whenever there's fraud, access typically gets harder. And when access gets harder, marginalized students are the ones that pay the price the most. Imagine you've just applied to college and you received your acceptance letter. You're excited, your family's excited, you're excited to go into your dorm, you find out who your new roommate is, then an email pops into your inbox. Something along the lines of, you've already enrolled in this school. But you think to yourself, that can't be. This is the first time I'm doing everything. And then you realize someone's pretending to be you at your college. Your name, your social security number, your financial aid. They signed up for classes, they applied for Pell Grants, and by the time the school noticed, the account was gone. These aren't isolated cases. They're happening across the country right now. They're called ghost students, and they're exposing something much bigger than a scam. So what exactly are ghost students? When people hear ghost students, they might imagine fake names, or cartoon villains, or something of the sort. But it's a little more scary than that. These are real enrollment records tied to stolen identities or compromised data. These fraud rings mass apply to colleges, often online programs, and once accepted, they immediately file for financial aid. And these scammers are really hard to detect. Some log into learning platforms, submit discussion posts, or even upload assignments. And it's not because they care about the education, but it's because they know how long they have to stay enrolled before the financial aid is released. Then they simply vanish. And here's the thing to understand. This problem didn't simply appear because scammers got smarter. It exploded because the system changed. In the last decade, colleges were forced to move enrollment online, simplify the admissions process, automate verification, and increase access without increasing staff, especially after COVID. We replaced people with portals and oversight with algorithms. And in doing so, we created a system that assumes good faith in a world where bad actors are using AI, bots, and stolen data at scale. And this problem has disproportionately affected community colleges. But I want to make something clear. Community colleges aren't failing in this situation. They're being exploited because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Community colleges exist to be open access, serve working adults, welcome first-generation students, and remove unnecessary barriers, which in turn means fewer admission hurdles, faster acceptances, and flexible online options. All the things policymakers praise until the fraud shows up. And then suddenly the solution becomes, make it harder to enroll. But there's policy behind this, and this is where the history matters. Since the 1980s, we've slowly transformed higher education into a business, almost like a marketplace or a transaction. And at the same time, public funding declined and tuition rose. I went a little bit more into detail about this in my video about the commodification of higher education. I'll leave a description for that down below and also a card up here. But essentially, we built massive financial aid systems without investing in the infrastructure needed to protect them and the people they serve. Essentially, ghost students are the predictable outcome of decades of policy changes. But let's take a step back and look at who this actually impacts, because I feel like this is where the conversation usually goes wrong. The headlines typically say, millions stolen from colleges, but that's not everyone that's harmed. The harm comes when students are locked out of classes or their financial aid gets delayed, and even being the victim of identity theft can lead to years of trying to fix the damage done. I know, I've had my identity stolen before as well. And as a result, the school tightens the rules for everybody, affecting more students. And the people who feel this first are the adult learners, the first-generation students, low-income students, and particularly students of color, the same people higher education claims it's here to serve. But here's the part that worries me the most. The proposed fix to ghost students is more verification and more documentation and more hoops and surveillance. But we've seen this movie before. Whenever there's fraud, access typically gets harder. And when access gets harder, marginalized students are the ones that pay the price the most. If stopping ghost students means making college less accessible, then we didn't solve the problem. We just shifted the harm onto somebody else. But the question I'm asking isn't what policies we can put in place to stop ghost students. My question is, why does our system make it easier to steal aid than to succeed in college? Because until we address that, the ghost student problem isn't going anywhere. The higher education system doesn't need another tech fix. It just needs more honesty. And if this video makes you see college fraud in a different light, good. If it made you feel uncomfortable, even better. And if you're here because you still believe that college should be a public good, then you're definitely in the right place. And if you got something out of this video, make sure to like and subscribe, because I post videos every week about topics similar to this one, the history of higher education, and who's impacted by it. And I'll see you all next week.